Welcome to 5 Minutes with Marc Adams, and what we're doing this year is we're spotlighting our 25th anniversary. We've had about 34,000 students come through the door, and the reason they come is because our instructors are the best craftsmen of all of modern time. And today we're profiling Bob Yorburg. And Bob, you said the other night about your work that you did circus work.
Yeah.
And if I could kind of hit on what that means that you do things like carousel horses, and you do, what are the other things?
Well, I do a lot of carousel organ facades, which are very ornate, very acanthus, a lot of acanthus and scrolls and flowers and what have you. Some of them get to be incredibly large, like 12, 14 feet across, 12 feet high. Carousel horses, penny arcade games, magic circus carvings. So it runs the gamut. They are kind of over the top elaborate. A lot of them are Baroque and Rococo, some of them a little Art Nouveau, but it has lots of different elements. It even has lettering, architectural elements involved.
Now, is what you do restoration work, or do you make new parts, or mostly replacement parts?
All of the above. I mean, what I love doing is new recreations of historic pieces. I will reproduce things. I will restore a lot of pieces. Create missing parts. I've got now a couple of horses in the shop where the hooves were rotted off because they were sitting on damp either basement or barn, and I have to recarve new legs and hooves. So it runs the gamut. On my presentation, we saw Grandma, who was in Coney Island, who was there for 87 years, never left, drowned in Sandy, so I had to build a new cabinet, restore the guts, redo her, and recreate the sign and just everything from the ground up.
So what town are you from?
I'm in Yorktown Heights, New York, which is about an hour north of Manhattan.
So did you go to Coney Island as a kid?
Actually, I didn't, but the fellow who taught me magic when I was a kid worked in Coney Island in the early 1900s, and so I developed an intense fascination and was looking at old photos and reading books, and I just, all of the amusement arts really fascinated me.
Now, I know that, that you do a lot of your own design work.
Yes.
And a little bit about your history is you also did some studying. You studied at Harvard Design, didn't you?
Yeah, I did Harvard Graduate School of Design for Architecture and Urban Studies, Parsons, worked with Peter Eisenman in architecture. In those days, architecture was very glass box, very square, completely the opposite of what I indulge in.
So not only are you well educated and a brilliant craftsman, but you also have to be a mechanic to make these things magically work that do all these different motions.
Yeah, I have a wood and a metal shop, so lathe, milling machine, welding equipment, the rest of it. Most of my specialty is wood, obviously, that's where I focus, but I have the other things so that when I come across something that needs to be repaired, I can. It's not my specialty, but I can do it.
So other than the woodworking aspect of your life, do you have any other interests?
Yeah, well, I'm still not only wood carving, but I'm also performing magic, which brings to mind...
Magic?
Yeah, funny you should
I'm
ask.
put him on the spot.
Okay.
Is there any way you could do a magic trick for me?
Yeah, I think so.
On the spot?
On the spot.
Unprepared?
Unprepared. This is my little 2-second commercial for Marc Adams. It turns out Marc, this year, created a 25th anniversary coin that you can get to help support the school. So that's, I think, pretty terrific. I got one, and hopefully all of you will too. So enjoy, and that's it, Marc. My on-the-spot magic, and this one's for you. You keep that.
I was wondering how he got that to begin with.
Really.
That was very, very good, man.
Thank
you. So you tell me about your book. I know that you wrote a book.
This is a book on acanthus carving and design. And what I focus on here is the history of acanthus. I love the history of carving and where it came from, how it evolved. In fact, we just finished a carving class for appliques on furniture and architecture, and we went through about 2,000 years of history in 5 days. So it was pretty intense. Everyone had a wonderful time. I also like the idea that everyone in the class had not carved before. They were rank beginners, and by the end of the week they came up with some really terrific things. This book is a step-by-step approach to carving the acanthus leaf and drawing the acanthus leaf, where it comes from, how you approach it, how you can glue up the wood. It even has a gallery section for inspiration that shows you different designs.
Of your work.
Yeah, some of I've got my work, yes, and I've got some other folks in here as well. So it's really a terrific source.
So for people to find more, what's your webpage address?
It's bobyorburg.com, YORBURG. That's it. You'll see lots of nifty amusement items.
And make sure that that's the problem with live TV.
Yeah.
Make sure that you check out Bob's webpage, and make sure that you follow us on either on our webpage or through our social networking that we're doing. Thank you, everybody.